Lee Sin. It's either going to get banned or going to get picked up. Flawless's blue side could be a first pick Lee Sin for them.
Yeah, IMAY with that side priority have elected to take blue side. Raz, thank you so much for your analysis. He'll join us to break down the day after this final game of this best of 3. We've got Kenan and Syndra taken away, along with Zach and Kog'Maw banned away from IMAY. Here is the Galio question. Does IMAY leave it and allow IG to potentially ban it through?
Well, IMAY definitely don't ban Galio.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You'd probably just get rid of the Karma again, unless they specifically want to target Lee Sin or another champion. As you can see, they have chosen a certain player's champion.
Yeah.
This game actually banned it in game number 2.
Duke's Fiora now taken off the board. So IG, they actually ban away Karma and leave that Galio open. That is going to leave Thresh, Lulu still open for IG on the back of this.
Yeah, there's 2 supports there.
They get their pick of the litter.
Galio opens up the whole team composition from IMAY as well, right?
Raz was talking about Lee Sin just a few seconds ago.
And I can understand Lee Sin being a high priority. I'd expect Invictus Gaming to get it, if not first, then second pick. Of course, Ning can just pick it for himself, so it doesn't need to be first picked. With that, however, you've mentioned the couple of supports that are up and present. With the Kog'Maw banned, there's less priority on something like the Lulu.
Yeah, Braum is going to be the follow-up from Invictus Gaming. Megan is taking that away from Starlight in the bottom lane. And Lee Sin is the pickup for Ning once again. Great performance in game number 2. Really rectified a lot of the errors we saw from game number 1. And Flawless answers back with Elise.
Much more of a style matchup that you want to see from these junglers. Ning, if he's a good Lee Sin player, you want Flawless to match fire with fire. Try and actually be a better, smarter jungler on the day with all of the experience that he has going for him, because game number 2, inexcusable from Flawless. He's here to prove that it's better.
Yeah, we're still seeing Jin Zhao return towards that Caitlyn in the bottom lane, so we're missing support and top lane if we're assuming that Galio to go back towards mid. But Invictus Gaming, they prioritize Shen for Duke once again.
I actually really like that, Dom. I feel like going for the 3rd rotation of Shen means that IMAY won't ban the Shen and pick Camille. Because that's how they were going to play this one out, in my opinion. They were going to ban Renekton and Shen and pick Camille. That's now no longer an option. And I think this obsession with Camille will change in this game.
We should hope so. As currently it looks like IG are targeting away that support pool. There's the Lulu. Ahri now taken away from Rookie. Trying to get rid of those huge power picks for him. And
Victor
still got his Victor still open, yeah. Looking through LeBlanc as well.
I mean, Athena is a very good Victor player himself, but Orianna always there. LeBlanc was, weirdly enough, banned from him last game also, so I feel like that's potentially there.
Ahri is the takeaway so far, as another support follows up from IG. With 20 seconds still on the clock, Kesman has to lead IMAY to victory with the composition that he sets up for them here.
Give us the Blitzcrank. Let's go.
It feels so weird to actually see that in the meta. Like, to me, Blitzcrank is right along the tier with, like, Garen. Where it's like, sure, it's fun to play in solo queue, but it's the surprise factor that's so strong.
Blitzcrank is not in Garen tier because Blitzcrank can win a game.
Well, I guess when you put it that way. Talia is the final ban away from Rookie. That means that AD carry is focused from IG. They pick Ashe to hold on to the counter pick for Rookie.
And now Tahm Kench is a possibility.
Yeah.
You have to remember, they got rid of Thresh, they got rid of Lulu, Karma has been banned, and then they picked the Ashe after Braum was already there. As far as I'm concerned, you want a supportive choice to keep your team alive. If the goal is to keep your team alive, then it would be the Tahm Kench. Past that, I was actually going to suggest this, but it's not road playing, so I held off. I think there are better options than Bard in this case for Starlight.
Yeah, he's got a lot of flexibility with that final pick. There's the Tahm Kench that you were talking about. Kled was actually locked in for Amazing J in the top lane. And with Tahm Kench now to follow it up, there is a lot of chase from IMAY, a lot of map movement and mobility. Luckily, though, Invictus Gaming have got a lot of protection of their own. Stand United from Shen, Sanguine Pool out of Rookie, not to mention the Unbreakable from Megan, plus a disengaged kick from Ning. So this is a spicy composition now that Vladimir is the final round-out pick.
And we saw some really good things from Invictus Gaming with the Shen ultimates, the timings, Ning on the Lee Sin, all of his ability to traverse the map, get around, get the ganks off. He looked outstanding, honestly, in game number 2 in Rookie. I mean, he's on Vladimir, he's on a hard carry, he's going to have a pretty good time. But getting through the laning phase, usually a difficult part for a Vladimir, he should actually be okay, because he's just against the Galio. Bit of a bully, not much of a kill threat.
We'll keep an eye on Flawless this time around and see which lane he decides to prioritize, or if he just tries to shadow Ning around the map instead, because Ning was so important at enabling those lanes to finally break free from their stalemates.
There's a couple of ways to play the Elise in this matchup. You can gank the lanes, rush mobility boots, and go from lane to lane to lane and try and get everybody snowballing. It's a little bit risky, but if one gank works, tends to be a snowball that happens to follow it. Or he can find the Lee Sin, maybe go towards the AP route, get the Aether Wisp, and haunt Ning's dreams. Find him everywhere.
It would only be a guise if you were to do that.
What?
Haunting guys? At least,
Right. No, it was not.
No? All right. I thought that haunt was a very deliberate, like, subtle Aether Wisp into haunting.
Actually wasn't. So I
no?
didn't
Okay.
understand you, yeah.
Alrighty.
No, I'm with you now, though. I had no idea.
The unseen pun is the deadliest.
So they say.
Yes. But Rookie still looking deadly serious as we get into this. I keep expecting a smile, but it's just not there. Is this a new IG?
Nah, he's been smiling before every set. This is an IG that just wants to win a game of League of Legends, Dom. Just want to get a series victory. It's their second and last opportunity in the last game of the LPL for this week.
Yeah. Luckily, they still have 4 more games to play in this group before they head back over to Cross Conference. Of course, next week they're playing Edward Gaming, their own sister team. Previously, their sister team, and Dan Gaming, the newcomers to the LPL. Whereas IG, they're playing up against EDG. So either way, it's going to be tough for both of these teams moving forward. A win here would help solidify their placement into the standings as time goes on. But it looks like we've loaded onto the Rift. It's game number 3, the big decider between IMAY and Invictus Gaming.
Certainly is. So as we load onto the Rift, once again, we've highlighted how aggressive these junglers could potentially be. We know that the middle lane is more about defusal than killing one another, as it is a Galio up against a Vladimir. But what we also know is that the bottom lane has an awful lot of kill threat when you've got an Ashe and a Braum down there. However, the Tahm Kench is designed to keep them alive. So ultimately, we are still looking at junglers to say, how do they influence the map? Can Flawless find Ning, or can he find a gank? Because if the Tahm Kench is designed to keep his team alive, it's actually still quite alright at killing the opponents.
Just tagging West or Megan with the Devour stacks to prepare for some crowd control. And Amazing J's Bear Trap on a Rope is also a great way to pull Duke back in. Even if he doesn't quite always get to proc his violent tendencies if Duke can drop down his dodge shield.
Galio Q is such a good leash. And Rookie was actually just stacking up his passive for the record. He wasn't planning on doing them, I believe. He's helped a little bit with his level 1 trades.
And with this, we do have both junglers starting out on both sides of the map. A pretty healthy leash out of West and Megan to set Ning on his way. Xin Zhao starts clearing out a few of these minions, takes an early lane advantage.
Commits to the push, as a Caitlyn should do. Of course, Starlight, you'll find, will pretty much only stay within Q range because he wants to apply Stoneborn's Pact to the opponents to try and allow Xin Zhao to trade more successfully.
Looks like we are seeing a full clear. Yeah, Athena's having a real tough time.
Damn minions.
Can't live with him. Can't live without him.
You have to trust him.
Yeah, that's the Vladimir lane for you. Rookie just trading back and forth, Corrupting Potion, and Teleport again from Athena. Ning going for a full clear. So we went Gromp, Wolves, and now he's going Raptors. Yeah,
he's doing a full level 4 clear. He may recall after doing the full clear as well. Just go back to base, get some big buys. We're looking at Flawless, though, as foregone 2 of the camps. I think it's to get a bit of a priority on this scuttle. He may immediately look for a gank. And so if Ning is going to full clear, there's a chance that Flawless finds him if that is the goal we mentioned before.
Yeah, Flawless is just behind him. Still not seeing that.
There's a smite there, so it's all good on that front.
Yeah. Cocoon, Neurotoxin, Volatile Spiderling plus Red Buff. Repel gets him away. Ning's still holding on to his flash. He's almost got the Venomous Bite one more time. He flashes auto attack. First blood, Flawless.
He had to flash a lot earlier than that, Ning. The second the Repel came out, he should have recognized that he was going to die with the continued chase of the Elise. Really rookie mistake there, honestly, coming out of the Lee Sin. I feel like everyone watching at home can understand how much damage the Elise was going to do there.
Especially with the Venomous Bite on such a short cooldown. Duke sees Flawless making his way back into his own jungle. before continuing to press Amazing J, and this is a bit more action out of the junglers. This is, I think, what we wanted to see in this game 3.
And it's quite simple. The full clear from Ning has been disturbed now. He's not going to be level 4, and he has no jungle camps left alive besides the Scuttle Crab. It will give him 4, but he is super far behind Flawless as it stands.
Athena teleports back into lane as, yep, there's the Scuttle Crab. Even seeing Jin Zhao and Starlight show up to fight him over it, as the blast cone gets cleared out and the ward does as well.
Yeah, it's less about fighting Lee Sin specifically for the Scuttle Crab, but also getting rid of the explosive plant, as they wanted to ward in certain areas. But if you ward in the lane, and then suddenly you've got an explosive plant coming over, you just died of the game.
Ooh, good patience from Athena and Rookie there. See, Rookie was trying to proc his passive to bait Athena into that cannon in an unfavorable trade, but they hold on to it. And again, it is the Doran's Ring Dark Seal out of Athena, so he's going for full sustain, whereas Amazing J manages to pull Duke back in before firing him with a few shots.
He's got the minion advantage here, Amazing J, so these trades are working out okay for him. However, Duke did outright win that trade. We'll have a bit of extra sustain, and once those minions collapse and reset, you'd expect Amazing J will have to recall unless he's remounted his skull.
About halfway there right now. So he is recalling. And with the wave pushed in, does he actually use that recall to get back? Seems like he's walking right now.
Walk,
yeah, he's teleporting, yeah. Still no Tiamat just yet, so going to have a little bit more difficult time against Duke, who holds on to his teleport, trying to break this potential freeze.
Yeah, so Duke tried to freeze it. Fair enough. Trades with him under the turret.
Yeah.
Exactly what you wanted, Amazing J.
Especially after a fresh recall. Luckily, he's got a refillable, so we will get some value
Rejuve
eventually.
beat.
Flawless on the side. What is that, 5 health per 10?
It's an amount. It'll help.
Not too much. Flawless makes his way now over towards the bottom lane. He's dropped a control ward. He is deep in enemy lines.
He really is, and Athena's also winding up for this. Remember, Galio and Elise and Kled are usually some of the best champions at diving turrets. Of course, Kled won't be here, but Flawless is trying his best to make it work.
That cocoon narrowly missing Megan. And they get to walk away with their lives as Athena returns to farming in the mid lane. Rookie just ducks under.
Interesting battle between these two.
Yeah. The sustain and wave clear trade.
Good damage, though, from the Elise just being nearby. Also means there's a bit of pressure available for IMAY, simply because Rookie is about one wave off being back to full health. You'd expect Athena actually continues to poke him, keeping down, prevent him from getting up to that value. It means that Galio can roam, and there's no real threat of Rookie roaming himself. It's what we were speaking about in game number 2, where he was on Ari. He was able to do the same thing to Athena.
We're also seeing the vision being shifted towards him as well. There's wards being placed by Flawless. He hasn't actually gone for the Tracker's Knife. He went for Sork Boots to move around the map, so perhaps prioritizing his own effect.
Yeah, it didn't go the full Boots of Mobility route. Wants to be able to do damage whilst moving a little bit quicker. You can go in Spider form everywhere. You're pretty fast as it stands.
10 additional movement speed in Spider form. Feels good.
Feels great.
Yeah. As Athena just keeps on trading with Rookie. Again, it's a Vladimir. He still hasn't completed a recall.
This is like watching top laners in mid lane. And now we've got top laners in top lane. Like, what lane in League of Legends are we meant to spectate now?
I've been having a great time watching Flawless.
Bottom lane's got Doran shields. They don't die. We got Tahm Kench and Braum down there again. There's noodles everywhere.
Athena, again, was cheating towards that bottom side, or excuse me, leaning towards that bottom side of the map for a potential hero's entrance as the wave pushed in, but the moment he backed up, you could see West and Megan safely respecting that Galio entrance, pulling back to their turret to try and play it safe.
You know, the problem with the Thresh meta is that Tahm Kench comes into the meta. Like when Veigar came out at Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly Tahm Kench exists as the #1 because it's a counter. And when Tahm Kench is in the meta, the less interaction, the better. Is how they kind of play that one out. We don't want less interaction. We're in the LPL.
We want more.
They're hungry for it.
8 minutes and a single kill is not enough, especially in game 3.
And I'm not surprised that that is the state of the game, right? It's merely just musing at the fact that it should be more. Just because the champions are all potatoes.
Athena now picks up blue buff before returning to the mid lane. Still no recall out of Rookie. He is sitting on so much gold.
Yeah, he's actually... I wonder if he's just going to go straight towards the Proto Belt, opposed to some kind of magic resistance. He's against a Galio, There are some Vladimirs when they're really struggling, might go like a Spectre's Cowl and just try and hold on. He have enough money with his 90-odd CS that he can potentially just buy a full proto belt, to be honest with you.
He can get whatever he wants.
I feel like that might be the name of the game. He's going to hang out until he can afford the full item.
Yeah. Athena's teleport is off cooldown. He used it to get back into lane. At what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes for Dark Seal and Doran's Ring?
At about 30-odd CS.
Yeah. And Rookie's still hanging on to this. Flawless. He has completed his Tracker's Knife, so he heads into the jungle to clear out some of the deep vision from Invictus Gaming. Just again putting that threat. There's the teleport as Athena has now completed 2 recalls.
He doesn't like teleporting into the lane with a minion. He has to go to the side of it, apparently. Doesn't really mean anything.
Maybe he's just expecting Rookie to try trading against him?
Well, Rookie should not be trying to trade against anybody when he's got just a Doran shield.
Yeah, exactly.
This means that he's locked in lane. So honestly, I feel like this is a mistake from Rookie, but we'll see what happens.
Flawless gets spotted, and look at the damage! He repels up. Hero's Call gets Athena there. And Flawless, that play, I mean, they tried it once, and IG found out that that could have been a weakness, so they shore up their defenses, and it doesn't happen again.
So we've got 4 levels in Caitlyn's queue here. At the same time as Starlight having a lot of levels in his tongue. I don't know if I like that build. You usually want to go towards traps because you're trying to siege, but you'd have to imagine the reason that he's gone towards this build now is because it's usually BF Sword into Static Shiv as the choice. He's also stayed in laning phase himself. So whilst we highlighted that Rookie hadn't recalled yet, neither are Jin Zhao. They've both got Doran shields down there in the AD carry position. We're right, it was absolutely just a full proto belt for Rookie.
And
that's
boots.
how much money he had. That bottom lane's pretty much the same story.
Finally recall. BF Sword Pickaxe out of Jin Zhao. And Bilgewater Cutlass Recurve Bow out of West. Not
Boots,
quite enough.
Dagger, so close to the full Blade of the Wrong King, about 200 off.
But not quite just there. Now Flawless is going to take Scuttle Crab. Ning just behind him again. The junglers shadowing each other all across the map.
And at the same time, we saw Ning do a lot of damage to Flawless, right? But they both built the way of damage. So it's about who gets the jump first, and then basically that person will get the kill. That is consistent through all of the game when Elise finds Elise in. But in saying that, it means there's not boots of mobility from Ning. He's not trying to rotate around the map extremely quickly. He's trying to do meaningful rotations and have a lot of damage when he actually gets to those positions. The same thing applies with Flawless. Fragile champion, the Elise. But if he hits with the Cocoon, gets all of the damage off, he will basically one-hit everybody, especially after completing his jungle item. And he's not far off.
Still not seeing any tanky items. Again, it's still very early into the game as Rookie just casually drops underneath that Justice Punch. I love how passive the two of them look. Athena looks like he's about to fall asleep.
He actually does. He might be asleep.
He's got Netflix open in another tab. Jin Zhao as well. This is just a very slow game. 12 minutes and a single kill.
Their player cameras really summarize what it feels like to farm 120 CS in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But not hit a champion.
Oh, there he goes.
He's still sleepy.
Yeah. He gets taxed by the Winter's Bite and knows he's got his support there to save him. Again, both junglers hanging out on this side of the map. We're seeing a lot of vision down here as well from IMAY and Invictus Gaming. Neither of them want to give up that Mountain Dragon without a fight.
And curiously, with a 20 CS difference between junglers, if most of that is going to be jungle CS, then the gold pretty much close to equal. There's 300 odd the difference between these guys right now. I don't feel like that's from anywhere specifically. It just means that there is a slight advantage here and there from an extra minion or two. Maybe a couple of extra more meaningful jungle camps have been taken from their opponents opposed to anything else.
With this timing, though, we are starting to see Rookie push back against Athena's immense wave clear. And he was starting to head into the river with Ning as Ning now clears out that Scuttle Crab by the Dragon. This is a very slow game.
And in all seriousness, I'd rather have a slow game if I was Invictus Gaming in this one. You've got a Vladimir mid. Like, the Galio has had advantages from level 6 to level 9. Has been pushing Rookie in. Rookie refused to recall. That should have been a dive bottom. In all seriousness, you bring Kled down with teleport, you ultimate under the turret, Galio uses his ultimate on Kled, you dive the nearest target. That has not been seen. Top lane's just farming, mid lane's just farming.
Yeah.
And as far as Invictus Gaming are concerned, that's what they want.
It's a tough day when the most animated player in the game is Duke. could just see him making a bit of an expression there as he manages to get that cannon minion rather happily. Again, both of those top laners sitting on teleports, sitting on those massive ultimates, not quite letting anything happen with
Flawless
them
actually
just
took
yet.
the blue buff, which means he's probably going to go towards the Rift Herald. He may kick that one off.
Yeah, taking Scuttle right now. Ning is on this side of the map, and he does decide to start the Rift Herald. As he sidesteps the charge, starts burning through its health pool.
Of course, with Spiderlings, it's just super simple to take it out. We'll have to watch Ning's observation skills or detective skills. It's unlikely that you'll actually expect Flawless to be here doing it, but again, the name of the game when you're playing Elise and into the Rift Herald is get your Spiderlings out in human form, change to Spider form, and watch as they tank for you. You don't take any damage at all.
And just like that, the most exciting thing has happened. The most exciting thing conceivable. Rift Herald.
Also, we'll be watching, more importantly, where the Rift Herald goes. It's not exciting that it got taken. What's exciting is where is it going to be used. Immediate adaptations as well from Athena. He's gone towards the Abyssal Scepter. I feel like the coaches have looked at him and just said, hey,
I know this is a new thing,
don't do that.
but don't do it. I feel like that would actually be good against Vladimir, because he just transfuses over and over.
Yeah, but Abyssal Scepter's still better.
Okay.
Like, just in pretty much every way, because you'll do damage with it.
Ooh.
They both prevent you from dying.
They found Megan and Starlight as the junglers and everyone else group around. That's Rift Herald in mid. Ace in the hole is going to be taken by Rookie as he teals it
fully
right
grouped
back
around
up. And
this.
5 members of IMAY are committing to break down the mid-tier 1. They've had enough. At 15:30 on the dot, they shove in and take a turret.
And that's good. I think they're happy with just the one turret taken. They don't really need more than that. They immediately rotate bottom.
Ooh, the
Doesn't
Cocoon misses.
Get what they're looking for, but there's also the Mountain Drake as a consolation if they're looking for something. The biggest reason this is a win for IMAY is because it opens up the map. It means that the Galio is a little bit more unlocked now. The Vladimir, maybe not as safe, albeit a Vladimir. However, the response goes the other way.
Yeah, it's IG on the Mountain Dragon. Teleport behind them from Athena. Still no TP yet out of Amazing J, but they see this Galio well in advance. Ning is in the pit, taking just the very light touches of that dragon.
Shen's
There's Rookie, stand united. No recall or teleport from Amazing J. He's recalling as Dragon is picked up. The Rookie goes in. He's found Jin Zhao. Hero's call to save him, but that's going to be the pool underneath.
Ooh,
Sonic Wave tags him, and the kick to the face gets a kill. Finally, Amazing J joins the fight, and it's Athena with a huge taunt, but he's coming in from the far side. He dodges the fight entirely, and this is IG cleaning up all of these kills. They dive onto that Kled.
Big taunt.
Yeah, Duke holding on to a lot of the aggro. They continue to follow through. West
He
gets
got
one.
Skullback.
Rookie's going for another, and that's going to be another Sanguine pull as he gets underneath.
He's
And
got
Amazing
two.
J is trying to turn it around. 1 versus 5 nearly. Megan takes aggro as Duke follows through for the kill, but it is 5 for 3 favoring IG.
Look, better late than never for Amazing J, but you would have preferred him there sooner. You hate to see it from IMAY, but Invictus Gaming, they do the Earth Drake, they commit to the team fight, they get the team fight victory. The turret will fall down subsequently afterwards, and this is the beginning of potentially the Game 3 undoing. The fact that Ning hits this, by the way, pretty much through the spider, you feel a little bit bad if you're Jin Zhao in that situation. The taunts have been fantastic from Athena. Where's Amazing J going? Come back. Come and help your team. The ultimate doesn't connect on anybody. Starlight doesn't even get to activate his grey health. Another big taunt. This is the most important taunt because it gets Amazing J back on top of his skull with the kill that he secures there. At the same time, he gets 2 nice kills here. You'd feel like it was almost more if the taunt wasn't there and Megan wasn't just so tanky.
The standing turret tank. Despite that, though, it is a 2-turret advantage for IMAY. Out of the back of this, they just pushed bottom and cleared out that tier 1, which actually puts them back in the gold lead for now. But Invictus Gaming have got a whole lot of gold after winning that fight that they are happy to wield against IMAY.
Yeah, absolutely, and we already mentioned the team fighting composition that Invictus Gaming's really compiled for themselves with the Vladimir. Just uses the Shen ultimate on top of Vlad, then Vlad can engage. And the second he gets the Zhonya's Hourglass, usually that's when you'd say the game is pretty close to over for any AD carries in the proximity of the Vladimir. Especially when it's someone like Rookie playing it, but he's gone towards the Haunting guys. I think there's a supplementary addition where he's gone for the Merc Treads to avoid a lot of the crowd control. That's a bit of extra flat penetration.
Yeah, just to make Jin Zhao have even more of a worse time.
Yeah, just to help him out in killing people that don't have any magic resistance. But it still means that Athena's not going to take any damage from him.
Athena with that Abyssal Scepter looking now for the Glacial Shroud, as there are a lot of pings towards that mid lane. Flawless is there, but Rookie just walks away. Shield of Duran still holding onto the Cocoon as Rookie Sanguine pulls. Flawless follows up, gets the Venomous Bite, but not enough. That's Cocoon onto Ning. Are they going to change targets or dive a little bit deeper? Stand United, and they don't swap over in time.
So they don't actually get a kill there at all, unfortunately. The Shen ultimate being level 12, Duke's got enough to keep him alive. But IMAY, they are trying to make the plays responsively to what IG are doing, as you said, Ashe top lane.
Yeah, splitting on the other side of the map. That means IMAY are trying to dive here. Athena's soaking a lot with that Shield of Duran's damage reduction. The arrow tags onto Jin Zhao, but immediately Starlight reacts and saves him. The top tier 1 finally falls. But IMAY, they're trying to make this work. They're trying to get some value here, but they just don't have enough.
With Lee Sin and Vladimir not having ultimates, they're still able to defend this one. Ashe might be a cross-map arrow, looked pretty. Doesn't actually do a lot for them, of course, as Starlight gets to play that TK. But IMAY, they try their best to make a trade. Ultimately, IG pretty happy with the outcome.
Now we get to the 20-minute mark. Baron has spawned. Mountain Dragon's back up in 20 seconds, or excuse me, 2 minutes. And things go back to recalls and lanes. We're still seeing Rookie absolutely huge. 0-1-5. Ning 2-2-2 to Flawless's 1-1-0. So after a bit of initial jungle skirmishing, seems like they've taken a more supplementary role to the bigger carries on their team.
So it should remain.
And now, Jin Zhao, you got to be careful,
All
man.
right, mate.
Look at
All
that.
right.
Proto Belt transfusion for half of his health. Warlords is going to get him back up a little bit. Starlight was feinting a flank.
Yeah, Flawless also being around, so there's a 3-man unit. There is still kill threat. If you're looking at the IMA side, pretty good pick composition. You know, Tahm Kench can get all 3 auto attacks off if a Cocoon connects.
Yep.
And then they can follow that one up with a Caitlyn trap, which is a very deadly combo. You place the trap and you spit them out on top of it.
Just under the Tahm Kench,
Yeah.
Well, Athena has found West. He's got no flash as his Winds of War are eaten by the Unbreakable. Duke still holding on to Minion's bottom. Taking a look at the gold, it's just about fairly even. 600 lead for Ning. Rookie's actually down 200 and another 500 gold lead for West.
I think with the champions into account, though, whilst Rookie's only down 200, he's probably ahead in terms of what he's able to do on Summoner's Rift right now. You're looking at someone who can kill people versus Athena who can't die to people. That's basically how this one plays out. Kled, on the flip side, has gone for more of an offensive type of Kled build, which is fairly standard, but it's going to help when you've got a tank mid lane. You need another damage source, because right now, Jin Zhao, he's facing against the Vladimir as the one primary carry of the team, and so they need as much damage as they can get on this roster, and they need to kill that Vladimir quickly.
And the scary thing is, he's not even going lifesteal. We talked a little bit earlier about the fact that he's relying on Warlords and Bond of Stone from his team to give him health back. If he doesn't have enough time, enough crowd control to keep him safe after Vlad gets in.
He needs a Hex Drinker more than he does even lifesteal, and this one you'd have to imagine is IMAY, they're looking. Kled is ulted.
Amazing J's in the back. He's found Megan. Rookie gets the stand united. Ning is back on the Dragon. There's the hero's entrance. Knock up onto 3, and the Dragon is stolen by IMAY. They force the fight, trying to set the front to back. Ning misses the Sonic Wave, but here's Rookie right in the thick of things, just tossing people up. Starlight tries to save Jin Zhao, but IMAY are losing the fight. Rookie continues to chase. So bloodthirsty, he follows through, and Flawless misses the blast cone. Tagged by the Winter's Bite, that's a slow. Rookie's gonna follow through for the kill, and this will be the ace. I don't even think he cares about the turret here. The ace for Invictus Gaming. Baron's on the map, and IG are running for it.
Very big chase towards the bottom lane to secure that kill, but it's onto the jungler. Set them up just that little bit better to go towards the Baron. It's cross-country, though. You can see Rookie going between turrets just to get to the Baron area. Perhaps that's if they even want to get there. But IG, team fight kings in that game. They actually beat IMAY at their own game. Amazing J is trying to stop it.
Amazing J rushes in. He's found West, but he's taking so much damage. The late teleport from Athena.
Another one.
It's staggered, but it's enough to dissuade the Baron. Teleport is canceled, and Baron resets.
The 2 teleports ultimately saved the game. Yes, Amazing J dies for it, but he focuses And we're just going to watch a replay instead.
Yeah.
So we get to see them engaging. This is a Galio-Kled combo. I actually quite like this combo. I think it's great. But when you have summoners up, it's very easy to dodge. So West, he's pretty much free hitting this entire time. Keep your eyes peeled on Rookie. Ning's kick is sick. Actually hits everybody. And then Duke's flash taunt here. Make sure he taunts both of them at the same time. So there is no escape there for Starlight. Definitely not going to be any escape for Jin Zhao. Follow-up, super simple. We'll execute a team fight individually from the side of IG.
Yeah, and now that puts IG securely in the driver's seat. Though it is even in Dragons, it's still a 7-kill lead for Invictus Gaming. And Leandri's Torment finished for Rookie. He's almost got that Zanya's you were talking about done as well. We're starting to see the Titanic on the way from Duke as he's already pretty massive. And despite a lot of gold on the carries for IMAY, they need to actually be able to survive these upcoming fights.
Yeah, and he's got another Brawler's Glove and Dagger here for Jin Zhao. So he's so reliant on the Tahm Kench keeping him alive. But Starlight doesn't even have a locket. Elise has gone full AP. I don't know what's meant to keep him alive here, Jin Zhao.
The hopes and dreams of his team.
Yeah, they don't actually provide magic damage shields.
Just tell that to CLG, right?
They still don't provide magic damage shields.
Yeah, Jin Zhao trying real hard. He's 0-2 right now, and he's doing great in CS, but it's more than minions that'll win you the game, especially with Invictus Gaming staring you down from the other side.
You just have to worry that IMAY played the early game way too slow and got outscaled by Invictus Gaming just through laning phase. I think that, to me, is the biggest concern of all here. Knowing that they need to play proactively or not knowing that they need to play proactively. But either way, they didn't do it, and they got outscaled.
Flawless. I thought he was going to look for Rookie, but there's no way. 4-1-7. This level 14 Vladimir can just about 1v1 anyone. They've actually tagged Ning in the river. Jin Zhao locks down the kill.
2 traps, I believe, actually connected to Ning there, so well done from Jin Zhao. Flawless hits the cocoon. There's enough damage to follow up. So suddenly, the inside track around the Baron area belongs to IMAY. And whilst IG have started to scale up, it is only 3k right now. So as it stands, that pick, very good opportunity to set up around the area. Maybe look for a 4v5 team fight.
That's what they're doing right now. Amazing J leads the charge. He finds Duke, the tank. Megan's helping up. That's a huge fissure to separate IMAY, but Jin Zhao is firing onto the front line. Not quite doing enough damage, though he does get a good headshot. Still not seeing Athena enter this, but they got a lot of chunk onto IG.
West still has heal. Megan still has exhaust. But they didn't really use a lot there, and they still managed to survive. I would almost argue that they won that fight, compliments of the damage West was doing. So that's a very impressive turnaround there from Invictus Gaming on the back of an engage from IMAY, charging at them with the clip.
Rookie outside of that fight, still farming up a storm. Athena trying to deal with that and answer. He's finished off a Thornmail and that Glacial Shroud, so while he might take forever to kill, can he provide enough crowd control to keep his team alive? Cloud Dragon's up in 70 seconds, and with Baron still on the board, I may have a temporary moment to sit in their vision on that side of the map before they need to refresh those wards, and they're buying time for Amazing J's teleport to come up as well.
And we've got the Thornmail actually out of Athena in this middle lane as well. West is going to have a pretty nasty experience from here on out. Not that it was great already, but now it's nasty. That's the definition I've just decided it is.
Yeah.
So pretty much was already unkillable, is now super unkillable in the way of armor, is Athena, but only with the Abyssal Scepter and Merc Treads there. If the Void Staffs come out, there's definitely still threat to killing him. However, Rookie, playing the Vladimir, wants to get the Zonya's Hourglass so that he has more team fighting capabilities.
Which he now has.
So he's picked that one up for himself. Means that he's going to be killing Jin Zhao.
Oh yeah.
So both mid laners have sculpted and designed themselves to kill the opposing carries, but not to deal with each other.
I guess they just kind of ignore each other until the game gets to a tipping point.
I feel like they'll walk past each other
to get to the
as
back
they
line.
attack their opponents.
High five on the way. Keep going. Now we've got everyone set up around that mid lane. Arrow just barely misses Starlight.
Was aiming for the right target, however, if they're hitting Starlight. Tahm Kench will save people who get hit by the arrow. But if Tahm Kench gets hit by the arrow, then who's going to save him?
Exactly. Who watches the Watchman? Turns out it's Ning. As he leaps forward with Megan, they found Starlight. The cocoon from Flawless separates any further follow-up as Flawless tries to hold on, or Jin Zhao tries to hold on to the mid lane. Meanwhile, teleports back up for Amazing J.
Actually swapped spots there as well. Ning did not want a part of it, and Megan said, let's go.
They gave it the 1-2 switch.
Still sieging this middle lane turret. Rift Herald was able to do that for IMAY. It gave them a bit of extra capabilities and opportunities, and finally, IG looked towards it.
That's the Abyssal Voyage now used to defend this turret, but it's already chunked down to half. Meanwhile, Athena's split pushing up top. He's got his level 3 Heroes entrance, so he's got pretty massive range. But with Rookie grouped up with his team, that is a lot of threats that IG can place down. Looks like they're converting that threat into the Cloud Dragon right now.
And that's just a quick kill Drake, basically, for them. Of course, pun definitely not intended. They will walk quicker, though. Now they go back towards the middle lane. It's Baron. It's all about Baron. Like, that Cloud Drake was just a freebie. They're able to pick that one up for themselves because no one's going to come over and contest them for it. It's just not worth it.
I mean, who says no to free stuff?
Exactly. Now they reconcile IMAY as IG disappear. All on the top side.
Again, just playing towards that side of the map. We're looking for vision. We're looking for these picks. Invictus Gaming have got all the wards right now, but with a fresh recall out of Megan, he's fully stocked up on wards with his Eye of Osiris. And 3 control wards, not to mention we're going to see some more wards reset after Ning completes his own recall. He drops his last Tracker's Knife in the Baron.
You know, I still think Kled shouldn't actually use his E-passive on wards. I feel like that's unfair to him because then he clears vision and then he can't actually use it in lane.
I mean, that's the choice, right? Do you want to trade removing enemy information or removing enemy health?
That should be a choice.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, Twisted Fate shouldn't stun a ward.
But he's throwing the card regardless. And you can't stop Kled's violent tendencies. They're violent regardless of what he's attacking.
Are they violent towards wards, or are his tendencies
He's
of
violent towards turrets as well.
Towards people?
He's violent towards turrets as well. He's violent towards wards.
Okay. No, I'll give you benefit of the doubt on that one.
I mean, in that same vein, is he violent towards spiderlings or dragons?
Does lore directly affect game balance?
Listen, I didn't say I was part of the balance team. I'm offering explanations as to why it might be this way. That's a lot of damage under Rookie. Was that from Flawless?
Yeah, I believe that was from Flawless. I think there was also maybe a Q out of Jin Zhao thrown in there as well. Again, we're still just jockeying for mid lane position.
So they tag him once again. The headshots are starting to do some damage. Static Shiv Runehands.
They might actually push IG completely out of the middle lane. They need to prioritize getting Vladimir some Qs.
He's junked down. That's the Stand United. They're going to force the fight. Again, Amazing J's recalling instead of teleporting. And this is now going to be the chaos. Jin Zhao's in the back. There's the hero's entrance. Finally, Amazing J is teleporting in. The Rookie's dived onto Jin Zhao. Look at how deep he's going. He gets taunted and dies, but trades his life over for a double kill. Finally, Amazing J is there in time to watch his team die. Skarl runs for the hills along with Athena, and IG win another huge fight.
And Rookie bides his time, hits the perfect moment, and West just gets free hits to the end of the earth right now. Invictus Gaming, we've mentioned they started to scale. Well, they would just spread their wings and run it down mid towards their opponents. They get the easy team fight off the Ash Arrow connecting. This is much better from Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, not even going for the Baron. They are breaking the base. The inhibitor has been cracked.
Baron comes next.
And IG have opened up the map so much now. 5 turrets to 2, 6,000 gold ahead.
One saving grace in that last fight was Athena, because Rookie was actually going to live.
Yes.
It was 100% going to be a clean ace there, but he didn't get his Zonias off. So this engage is good. Lots of good pressure. Rookie goes in. Now, bides his time, gets the flash off. Every button pressed. If he just got the Zonias now and wasn't flash taunted by Athena, then everyone was dead that's ever existed. So credit where it's due to Athena for being the one positive in a mostly negative experience for the entire side of IMAY.
We're seeing IMAY immediately rush back out onto the map. They don't want to let those super minions take too much map control before they get a chance to set up
They've
vision.
actually just
But
started
they
it
are
off.
turning on to the Baron. They've got a Mountain Dragon and are
They
doing a lot of
destroy it.
damage. It's down to half. Rookie's on the flank. So is Duke. They're going to collapse, but Amazing J forces the fight. Rookie in the back line, separated.
Look at the
Knockup. Jin Zhao
Vladimir.
is kiting. He's got the Hemo Plague. He's in the back line, trying to do what he can. Zanya's to stall it out. Jin Zhao cannot find someone to fire against, and IG are just rushing on top of IMAY. Jin Zhao is still firing shot after shot. He's still alive as Duke chases forward.
Jig.
Flash taunt tags onto him. The AoE is being spread across from west as the fight is being cleaned up now by IG. Rookie over the wall, forces a flash out of Flawless. He makes his way to the turret, but it's 1 for 2. Another win from IG.
Everybody's flashing. Flawless is barely alive. I don't think he can actually get to the Baron area and try and prevent this one from going down. West, he uses a QSS to make sure he's actually able to contribute to the Baron going down. He is the primary source of damage. Flawless, don't be silly.
He doesn't have flash. He doesn't have a chance. Steps forward, and Rookie is going to ghost. Starlight even shows up with the Abyssal Voyage. Flawless contributes to the cause.
He did it. He was silly. IG can recall with a free kill in their back pocket. They've got super minions mid. Reset bottom, and look at the top wave. This is pretty fantastic, honestly, out of them, and the team fighting is still a very prevalent feature. Rookie didn't get the perfect fight off, but he survives for so long that Megan gets a second rotation of the door up. This pressure, just incredible. The fact that he gets to the zonies and doesn't die is big, and then Megan's the hero here. The amount of damage that he blocks, like Jin Zhao was getting a pentakill if that wasn't a Braum. Any other character in League of Legends, they were all dead. But Duke, again, another big flash taunt, obviously showing mastery of the champion. A lot of people mess that up. Ning actually hitting a lot of things there as well in the back end.
Yeah, here comes the follow-up from Invictus Gaming. Guardian's Angel completed on Ning. West has completed now his Lord Dominic's Regards Void Staff on Rookie, plus a needlessly large rod, not to mention an Abyssal Scepter on Duke. Invictus Gaming are prepping to break this game open. Elder Dragon's up when this Baron finally wears off, and they are already setting up on two sides of the map.
And you know that Ning with the Guardian Angel will actually look towards diving objectives and structures now. It doesn't matter too much to him anymore. He's hit that point in the game where Lee Sin can do Lee Sin things. And that's kind of what we look towards. Rookie has been very good with his flanks so far, very good with the engages on those flanks. He needs to maybe show a little bit of patience and some reservations before he goes doing that right now. Let Duke win top lane, and then let the Lee Sin engage this time, and you'll be happy.
Goodness, that's a lot of health.
Without a Spirit Vision.
Finally, the top tier 2 is broken. Duke is now going to get onto the in-hit, but Amazing J is there to answer him. They're targeting Duke. That's Stand United. They've got him with a charm, and now he rushes forward under the Sanguine Pool. Zanya's to stall this out, but the rest of IG follow up with a fight. Rookie is still going to clean up the kill onto Athena, his opponent, and he dives forward onto Jin Zhao, but the exhaust denies his damage. And with this, Invictus Gaming have broken the base yet again, winning even more kills. And with super minions behind them, Baron still on them for another 90 seconds. They're going to try to win the game right here and right now. They turn onto the Nexus turrets. The valiant defense from Jin Zhao, but Duke is in his face, keeping him busy while the rest of IG turn onto the Nexus. They've dropped Rookie and West himself. But the Nexus crumbles, and Invictus Gaming are winning this best of 3.
And there's the smiles that you wanted, Dom, from Rookie. There's the smiles from Invictus Gaming. Raz has turned into a snake. I have no idea why. And it's not exactly happy campers from the opposite side of the rift right now. I'm a little bit disappointed, a little bit salty there on the face of Athena. But you got to celebrate your wins here for Rookie. Look at him.
Yeah, there he goes. The big hug. Good job, Duke. Holding it together long enough for us to win the game. And like a flood breaking through cracks in the dam, they were able to break the base over and over of IMAY. And while the fights were certainly chaotic, everyone was throwing everything they had. It was Invictus Gaming who came out victorious.
And you can't help but feel like a lot of this series actually came down to the drafting, Dom, honestly. They just outscaled their opponents in this one. Jin Zhao tried his absolute hardest. There's only so much you can do against Rookie on Vladimir. There's only so much you can do when you've been completely and utterly outscaled by your opponents.
And it's so interesting to see Rookie on that Vladimir. We were talking a bit about it a little bit beforehand. I honestly thought it would be Athena. Send the Galio up top. He's got plenty of AP on his own. But no, they decided to commit to the strategy that they had, that they attempted in game number 1. That worked out for them, but weren't able to make it work in game 2 or game number 3. Still good to see that IMAY are trying new things and continuing to demonstrate that perseverance and dedication that we've come to expect from them.
They have looked pretty good in certain games here. IMAY, when they got their victory, looked unstoppable. They looked like a very clean mid-game macro. Was everywhere. They used a Baron buff, was fantastic, but game 2 bounces back to IG. Game 3 cleanly bounces back to IG one more time with some signs of life from Flawless in particular. You can't help but wonder after that series, is the team better with Road and Band 4?
It is a question that we have to ask, and we've got the perfect person to phrase it to. Raz, welcome back. Is IG or IMAY better with Flawless and Ben 4? Well, Flawless or Ben 4?
There we go. That's a good question. I think it's one of those cliffhanger moments because this was such a stellar best of 3 coming out from IMAY and IG. It was really, really close. And even though Flawless played well, Starlight had moments. Road is a playmaker for the team, a shot caller for the team along with Amazing J. And so you would have to wonder what it would have been like with Ben 4 and Road, which is what they would prefer and how they played or who they played with in Demacia Cup. So even though sure Flawless played spectacularly here in this set, or at least he had great moments, they definitely wanted another set, or at least a different pair.
Yeah, and I think to put it simply, the individual performances didn't really dictate the outcome of this series, which is why it was actually a very good series to watch, because strategy and draft ultimately decided the winner.
Yeah, and it was exciting to see Invictus Gaming sort of try these different strategies over the course of it. Hey, it's a top carry meta. Let's put Duke on Fiora. Oh, no, he's got totally camped and bopped. Now let's swap him back onto something a little bit stronger towards that Shen, force him to play with the team, and focus instead on West and Rookie. And it is exciting to see Invictus Gaming actually play towards their bottom lane.
Yeah, they played towards the bottom lane a bit, and I think that it was very easy to do just that because Vladimir was a playmaker and being able to just flood his advantages towards the bottom lane with the Shen always behind him, with Lee Sin, or at least with Ning on Lee Sin, to be able to just compile that with the CC or playmaking status that he had on it. So I like to see that in games 2 and 3, he went back to the Lee Sin, and I'm actually quite surprised that Lee Sin wasn't picked up by IMAY when they were on blue side. They went towards Galio, which makes sense, but not in this specific matchup. I think in this specific matchup, Flawless is an incredible Lee Sin player. They could have given that to them. But
well, they could have even just banned it away, right? They got rid of the Syndra, the Cannon, and the Fiora. Maybe Cannon's less of a concern if they have counter picks to it themselves. And I do agree with you. I think Lee Sin was the #1 jungler of choice. They probably should have put higher priority on it, maybe more than the Galio. That really comes down to perhaps a comfort thing. I know IMAY just seem to be obsessed with having to first pick that. And it's not unjustified by any means. And I agree with you. Maybe just in this one particular game, they could have changed it.
Yeah, well, tragically, they didn't get the chance to, as we saw Ning get to take it for the 2nd time in a row. And Invictus Gaming now, we've gotten a chance to look at them when they really get to pop off. We've gotten a chance to look at them clawing up from above. Rookie is going to get our MVP in the meanwhile, 8-3 and 13, 100% kill participation. Yeah,
and his team fights were incredible. Game 2, he was on the Ari and was making some great picks. In this game, his team fighting, he was just doing a lot of damage, and if they didn't kill Rookie, then he was 100% going to be able to win his team the fight. And then you saw in the mid lane fight specifically, he was able to just flash in and get a multi-man damage off of his E. So the AoE was always there. It was nice to see it from Rookie. And his team just was always beside him, just be able to get those plays off for him.
But to return to what I was phrasing just a few moments ago, we've seen IG when they're ahead. We've seen IG when they're behind. Are they growing and changing as a team from when we saw them in the spring split, or are these still the same issues cropping up when we see them suffer?
I mean, ultimately, I think that they play the same way, and the best way that they can improve themselves is by making their strengths better and then starting to either hide the weaknesses or just shoring them up but not changing their style, right? So they'll always have the same weaknesses. The question is, how can you actually attack or expose those weaknesses? And for me, Ning playing a Lee Sin is the best way to hide any kind of weakness that they've ever had. And once he grows as a player, becomes a much more astute and involved within the LPL league and familiar and comfortable with even new champions, then more of the weaknesses might even just go away.
Yeah, and for me, I think that the weaknesses we've always had for IG was just that their mechanical skill ceiling for the jungle position was just way too low. Like, Kid was a great, or at least a smart player, but sometimes his execution, or at least more often than not, his execution would fall short. And so Rio was a different player in which his execution was incredible, but he didn't have the mind set to play it. He was inexperienced. And now this is a mix of both, where you are experienced in competitive play. He is a smart player, Ning is, and he has high execution. So theoretically, this should just shore up the jungle weaknesses that this team has had. And now I suppose if there are any problems, then we look towards the bottom lane to see if that's going to be the new weakness for IG. In this set, I think their pick ban improved, and I think in this set, West and Megan played well enough while the rest of the map played stellar.
Especially in Game 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, West was really popping off with that Ashe, just getting so much damage overall. So then verdict for IG, tentatively hopeful, tentatively optimistic?
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I think like Frostgreen with LGD, maybe not that extreme
Yeah,
actually.
that's
A little
a
bit
little
less.
tight.
Like
Yeah.
8 out of 10 version
Okay.
of
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Like Pulse with game talents.
Woo!
There you go.
I don't know if that's
a bit of dedication that I don't think we
No,
can
you know what?
mimic.
I can't think of an
Yeah,
example.
there's
They're all
nothing, there's
fanatics.
nothing. They're just
all out of
crazy.
control.
all of them.
Okay, it seems like we're the more reasonable crew on the desk over here. Rez?
I will say this, that I want to see the rematch. I want to see IG versus IMAY Part 2. It's going to take a little bit before we get that, obviously, because I want to see what happens when they bring in Road and they bring in Ben 4. Because I feel like top 2 right now in Group A is going to be EDG and it's going to be WE. But top 3 seems very much of a battle between both of these teams that we just saw.
Yeah.
And if we see the rematch and if IMAY comes back hard, then we can see that third place being offered to IMAY. And all of this is with the expectation that Snake doesn't show up or Dan Gaming is placed at the bottom where we do expect them to be placed. So this was a great match, and I want to see what happens when Ben 4 and Road are willing to play. Or
And
at least
again,
ready.
by the time we see that match, the teams will have played 6 to 7 weeks of cross-conference and the rest of their group, so we're looking for that progress there as well. And again, we're looking to see IMAY continue to grow. But any other thoughts on our week 1 of the LPL? We're finally getting a chance to return and take a look at how these teams have actually landed. Are we looking at some teams rather happily? Like WE still look like they're coming out swinging?
Yeah, I think coming into Rift Rivals, I am reasonably content with where we're at as long as RNG continues to show form again and settle down. Just settle down.
There's that, and there's also EDG, which should look a little better with the second set. But there's a lot of, sit down, kind of relax, be humble type of situations for both teams. Let's see if they can come into Rift Travels looking a little stronger than week 1 that we saw.
Yeah, and one team that actually isn't very humble right now is OMG. They're still playing really great and just showing continued
Keep doing
momentum
them.
upward. Yeah, exactly.
Keep doing you, OMG. Keep doing you, WE. It's these other 2 Muppets that we need to watch that can actually find themselves by Rift Rivals.
Yeah, well, the hope is that they can. They've still got a few weeks before that's going to happen, but I think that's it for us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your analysis. On behalf of myself, my co-casters, my analysts, and the whole production crew, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for more LPL action.